Coming up, the Iowa football team is going bowling in San Diego. And later, we break down the college football playoff.
Will Nate Stanley break an all-time record?
We'll tell you that and more in just a few.
Iowa's defense has been rock solid since game one.
But this USC offense isn't like any team they've faced.
All that and more coming up on this special Tuesday edition of DITV. Don't go anywhere. The College Bowl preview starts right now.
Thank you, fans, both here in Kinnick Stadium and from around.
Good morning and thank you for tuning in. I'm John Rawson. Today's show is a little different, but that's because we're going to tell you everything you need to know about Iowa's upcoming game in the Holiday Bowl. Before we get into all the specifics, let's just run through some of the details. The Iowa Hawkeyes are taking on the USC Trojans in the Holiday Bowl on December 27th at SDCCU Stadium in San Diego, California. Iowa comes into the game with a record of 9-3, and USC is sitting at 8-4. It's going to be a battle of the gritty Iowa style against USC's fast-paced, aired-out offense. The Hawkeye offense has been a huge question mark all year. Many inconsistencies and injuries have plagued the team, but they seem to be playing their best football towards the end of the season. For more on the Hawkeye offense, we have Zach and Kate outside Kinnick Stadium looking for the end zone. Guys?
Thanks, Sean. Well, we've been out here for quite some time. We still can't seem to find the end zone anywhere, Cade.
But I think that's just because we're not very good at looking, because Nate Stanley has found the end zone 14 times this year and 66 times in his career.
And get this, if Nate Stanley can pass for 8 touchdowns against USC, he would tie Chuck Long for Iowa's all-time passing touchdown record.
That might be a bit of a stretch, but Stanley, well, he's excited for the challenge.
Excited to go out there. But my priority when I'm out there is just going to be to help my team win. So, whatever those opportunities are, I haven't decided if I'll do them or not yet. But definitely cool to go out to the West Coast. Like I said, I've never played on the West Coast. I never played a Pac-12 school, so it should be a special experience.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Maybe 8 is a stretch, but another record that isn't out of reach is a single-season field goal record. Iowa has been kicking field goals all year long, and Keith Duncan needs just 2 of them to tie the NCAA season single record for a few goals made.
I wouldn't even be surprised if Duncan managed to kick 3 field goals to get the record all to himself. It's really a shame that he didn't win the Lou Groza Award, but he's been automatic all year long. And although he didn't win the Lou Groza Award for Best Placed Kicker in the nation, he was named an AP First Team All-American.
Also named to the All-American second team was Tristan Rips and A.J. Epinesa. This makes the 24th, 25th, and 26th All-American under head coach Kirk Ferentz. USC comes into the game with just 1 All-American, wide receiver Michael Pittman Jr.
Now, Nate Stanley was not named an All-American. However, he, along with A.J. Epinesa, were named Roy J. Carver Most Valuable Players on the Iowa football team.
Nate Stanley has started 38 games in his 3 years as a starter and has a record of 26-12. He started the year towards the top of the list of the NFL prospects, and if he could play up to the standard in the Holiday Bowl, well, who knows? Maybe it won't be his last time we see him on the field.
Well, John, it's going to be a must-watch football game, so I really hope you don't miss it.
Well, Cade, we're actually both going to the bowl game, so yes, I will be watching. Now, Iowa's all-time record against the Trojans isn't all that great. In fact, they've played 9 times, and USC's gotten the best of Iowa 7 of those times. And Iowa's last win against USC back in 1961. Also, the last time the Hawks played a Pac-12 opponent in a bowl game, they let Christian McCaffrey and the Stanford Cardinals run all over them. But the Iowa defense has been great all year long. They have one of the best defenses in the country based off of statistics. And they've gone against some of the best competition in the country, like Jonathan Taylor, and even crushed the Golden Gophers' hopes of the college football playoffs. Dallas and Tanner, please give me some good news about the Iowa defense before they take on this high-power USC offense.
Well, John, we don't really have any good news for you. USC has a legit offense that likes to move the ball through the air.
One of the biggest problems that Iowa's defense will have to watch out for is USC's wide receivers.
To put it in perspective, 3 of USC's wideouts have more receiving yards than Iowa's leading receiver in Amir Smith-Marset.
And now Iowa's no stranger to facing pass-heavy offenses this year, but the Hawkeye defense will have their work cut out for them.
I mean, they're going to throw the ball. It's kind of like a Purdue team. You're going to get the ball in the air a lot. So, I mean, really just now just more about see what route concepts they run and try to match what they do.
I mean, we approach it like any other game. It's just you prepare for it and you go through the whole month. It's just a month-long preparation. If anything, we're more than ready than usual.
While there is a few guys for the Iowa defense to watch out for, there is one in particular that they need to keep a close eye on.
That's right, Dallas. Senior All-American Michael Pittman Jr. is a force to be reckoned with. Pittman has over 1,200 yards this season, along with 11 TDs.
Pittman has 3 less receiving touchdowns than Nate Stanley has passing touchdowns. So this just shows how good Pittman really is.
They threw for like 515 yards, something like that, something crazy. And I mean, I know they got a really good receiver, Michael Pittman. So, I mean, I haven't looked too much into it. I haven't watched the film or anything yet, but I just try to look up stats from last game, stuff like that.
These defensive backs will definitely need to have a Desmond King-like mindset to be able to handle these All-Americans. John, take it away.
Thanks, guys, but it's time for my prediction. This Iowa defense has stepped to the table game in and game out. On the other hand, this is practically a home game for USC, no matter how well Iowa fans travel. My head wants me to say USC, but in Nate Stanley's final game, I think the Hawks win 27-21. Once again, Iowa will go up against USC at 7 p.m. on December 27th in San Diego at the SDCCU Stadium. But of course, Iowa isn't the only team playing in a bowl game. Before we end the show, we wanted to touch on the 2 college football playoff games. The LSU Tigers claim the #1 seed, which means that they are going to face off against the 4 seed in the Oklahoma Sooners. I know you guys are still out looking for the end zone, but Zach and Cade, I'm sure you'll have no problem seeing some touchdowns in this game. What can you tell me about it?
That's right, John. Now, we don't need to spend too much time on this because it's pretty simple. LSU has Joe Burrow and Oklahoma doesn't. Burrow has been unstoppable all year long. I mean, there were 4 finalists at the Heisman Trophy presentation, but everybody in that room knew that the trophy was going to Burrow.
But that's the scary thing, Zach. Now, I'm not one to believe in curses, but the last time a Heisman Trophy winner won the national championship was back in 2013 with Jameis Winston. And before that, it was 2010 with Cam Newton. And also the guy on the other side of the ball, Jalen Hurts, well, he's been in this situation before. He's the first player ever to start the college football playoff with 2 different teams. It should be a fun one, John, but the LSU Tigers are the #1 team in the country for a reason. Back to you.
Now, quickly flipping to the other side of the semifinals, it's going to be the Big Ten champions Ohio State taking on the 3 seed and defending national champion, the Clemson Tigers. Dallas and Tanner, is there any hope for the Big Ten in this one?
John, honestly, I think Ohio State has a chance to do something great with this game. Even though he's only a sophomore, quarterback Justin Fields has dominated teams all season long. The closest Ohio State was to losing a game this year was to Penn State, and they still won by double digits. Did I mention that the kid's only a sophomore?
Whoa, but hold on a second, Dallas. You can't count out last year's national champion winner in the Clemson Tigers. Even though Fields might have the better stats than Tigers QB Trevor Lawrence this season, Lawrence and his team knows what it's like to be the underdog and come out on top. Just go ask Alabama. I feel like with Lawrence's experience in playing in big games, it will give the Tigers all they need to win. Well, Dallas, I hate to say it, but it's our last show of the semester. I'm going to miss anchoring with you, man.
Honestly, Tanner, I'm not going to miss you at all, dude. Frankly, I'm glad it's over.
Why do you say that? What the Hawkeye Wrestling is cooking. Hey, Dallas, you think I have a chance to make the team? Kobe.
No.
Well, in the famous words of wrestler Hulk Hogan, what you gonna do, brother? Oh, I see what you mean. John, back to you.
Well, I can't say I blame you, Dallas, but thanks to all of you tuning in for this special bowl preview show. Make sure to come back after our holiday break to see what DITV cooks up to start the new semester. For all of our staff and crew here at DITV, this is John Rawson, signing off.